Hi, how's it going, gamers, on this wonderful, beautiful, glorious Gamer Monday? I am joined with some of my good fellows, my fellow gamers, Zack,
Hey.
Mr. Ryan,
What's up?
Sarah,
Hey.
and Mr. Kiwi Birds Spheal, joined by Phil the Sloth, Stanley, and Rowlet.
Hello.
How are our gamers doing on this good old Gamer Monday?
I'm doing splendiferous.
Mm.
I'm
Any
doing, I'm doing wonderful.
you're doing?
Wow.
I'm doing it.
I'm doing
Alright.
more
We're
splendid.
here.
No.
As we ask on every Gamer Monday, to start us off, any new games? I know that there's a few, so spoiler alert.
Mhm.
Before we get into the big one, I would just like to say, I've been with some coworkers late at night. I've been reviving the community of Omega Strikers single-handedly.
Oh.
We've been doing 3v3 custom games, and it's been pretty fun. I've been
Oh, okay.
spectating and stuff. I've been doing like 1v3s sometimes.
Oh, you're beating them alone?
Oh. So custom?
Sometimes, like once.
Huh.
But
Sometimes, a few
It-
times.
it's
One
difficult to
time.
find the balance between new players and me, who like this is one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
So like I'm trying to only spectate unless like we don't have enough players.
Fair.
But yeah, it's a good time. I love that game.
It's been a while since we played Omega Strikers.
I was
so
actually going to
back
ask you
into
if
it.
you wanted to play today, but you worked and I
didn't.
thought you didn't.
I did, unfortunately.
It's a shame.
I worked on a Gamer Monday. It's so sad.
I
It's
did as
so
well.
bad.
How dare they?
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
I started 2 new games. Well, 3, but I think Ryan and I want to talk about one. So I'll save that for later. But I did beat Kingdom Hearts 1. Hooray for me.
Oh, I was there.
Ryan was there. Sarah was also there.
I was
think.
there.
There was there.
Yep.
And then I tried Chain of Memories yesterday, actually. Chain of Memories. I got to the fight with Axel, which, if anybody does not know, that's about an hour and a half, an hour-ish into the game. And I decided that it would end right there. I did not have fun. I was like, this is simple enough. And then they're like, no, you have to look at his cards. And when he stacks the cards with the blah, too much. Too
You
much.
went, nah, never mind.
I was
hate
like, what
this."
was wrong
Yeah.
with mashing the X button? And then dashing away when my
Why can't we go back to simplicity?
So I'll be starting Kingdom Hearts 2 instead next week when I get back from like my little trip.
I really think that people try hard to rationalize why it isn't bad game design, that it is like card-based combat.
The easiest way to say whether or not something is bad or good is if I had fun with it,
Yeah.
it is good to me.
I think a
But
lot
I
of it
would
is nostalgia for some people, but like it's
I mean,
really just
and that's
not.
fine.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah,
you
it's
can
fine
like
to be
something
nostalgic
and
about
say,
an old
The
game.
combat just isn't. It's not fun. It's not like sure it can be like unique and complex, but like unique and complex isn't always just like this is great.
Yeah, that doesn't equate to like
Yeah.
being a good game.
It's weird that they switched to that kind of combat, like in between.
I don't know what they were fucking thinking.
I think it was
I know,
because
I
it
don't
was
either.
Game Boy. And that was their way
Yeah,
to
but they
try
didn't have
and
to
make
do
it
that
work.
in the Game Boy. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like
One
maybe
thing
if
I'll
it
say,
started
though,
off that way, it would have been maybe okay. But yeah, I don't know. When you're expecting one thing and then they switch combat all of a sudden randomly.
Yu-Gi-Oh was popping
Um,
off at the time. They're
yeah.
like, we want a card game
Yeah.
too.
Well,
They're like,
they
how
did
can we
go-
possibly compete?
I
They didn't go
wonder
back to it,
how.
so-
I wonder how close that is to the truth, actually.
I don't know. I'm excited for
I
Kingdom
don't
Hearts 2. Another game I started
best
playing
one.
was I never beat this game. I played it like I started like the beginning of the game like 5 times when I was a kid, but I'm playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon on my
Mm.
Switch, which is the remake of Rescue Team, I think. So, it's really
Okay.
fun. It's really chill. I'm actually learning the mechanics instead of just running through and mashing whatever like I did when I was a kid. So, it's very fun. I have fun recruiting the Pokemon. It's very fun to do, like just to collect them, I guess.
Do you like the shinies in
Especially-
that game?
I got 2 shiny Amphoroses in Mystery Dungeon in a row and did
Oh.
not have the fucking camp it could stay in.
Oh, that's so depressing.
And I was like, I have
Ooh.
no Wigglytuff orb. And
Boo,
it was
boo.
so sad. So sad. But
Ooh, getting shinies you
That
can't
made me
have.
quit.
no, I'm having fun with that one. I'm excited to get the legendaries and stuff too, because I know you can do that mostly in post game, but I'm very excited to do that.
The Pokemon like mystery dungeon games were so fun.
Mm-hmm.
They're so
They haven't
simple, but
released
they're so
one in
fun.
forever.
They were. Shout out
Right.
Ranger.
Have they released a new mystery
Outlander.
dungeon in a while?
No, it's been
I
like
know.
10
I
years.
no,
Has it been
no,
10 years?
there's one on the Switch. I bought it, but
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but like
it's a
aside
big
from
one,
the
though.
remake.
Well, like a new one? I don't think there's been a new one.
Yeah, I'm asking like
They don't want to make new ones for some reason, even though it'd make good money, I think.
I mean, anything they put out will make good money.
Yeah,
That's why I don't,
true.
like, I don't know.
But
I
it
wanna
was a
see the last
successful
one was.
spin-off series.
That's true.
I'm having fun with it, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna see
It's a good fun game.
Super
Yeah.
Mystery. Yeah, it's been 9 years. That's
Mhm.
crazy.
Super Mystery Dungeon's a good game, though. I like it a lot.
hmm I did have fun with it.
You have sung its praises before.
For good reason. It's a good game.
Yeah.
I believe you. Yeah, it's
Your
been like
dad
9
is a
years.
Nuzleaf.
Really?
Well,
My gym partner's a
kinda.
monkey.
He
Well-
like looks after you
Yeah.
when you become a Pokemon.
My
Mr.
stepdad is a
Nuzleaf.
Nuzleaf.
Nuz father.
And then your partner's dad is a Caracosta, of course. So that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone else playing anything new though?
I
Sarah?
started Monster Hunter Rise.
Oh,
Monster
there you
Finally
Hunter.
go.
beat World after 200 hours.
Holy shit! Those are bigger games than I realized. I think.
Persona is nothing, I guess.
True. How do you like Rise compared to World though?
I haven't decided yet. It plays much different than World does.
Yeah.
Do you wish it didn't?
I don't. I think it's just because I was used to World.
I mean, yeah, 200 hours will do that, huh?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it'll take some time, but I like barely have played it. So I guess we'll see and find out.
It's a
more
very
arcade-like rather than
yeah. World is more like explorative
immersive, I
and
guess.
it's slower. Rise is a lot faster. You have the wire bugs, which like give you like a bunch of mobility. So the combat definitely feels way different because you are going.
It makes
Like,
you
it's
feel
completely
like
the-
a Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
It's
Like
like
in
completely in
World,
a
you
different
have
direction.
to track them and like level up your expertise on the monsters and stuff. Whereas like Rise, you pretty much just like jump right in and you just fight 'em.
Okay. Huh. Nice.
So we shall see. Stay tuned. Other than that, nothing.
It's a big game, so I mean,
Yeah.
probably don't have a lot of time to split between.
Fortnite,
Yeah.
Metallica.
Fortnite. I have not been playing.
Since Isaiah's
Fortnite.
not here.
Yes. Also, Isaiah's not
Mm.
here. He still has not
Work
been
is-
returned from the
Yeah.
rapture that took him last week.
Mhm.
Right.
We're expecting him in the next few days or so.
We're missing him greatly.
It will be missed.
One of these days he'll return to us.
In
If
lieu
you
of flowers.
also miss Isaiah, check out the Patreon for in memoriam for him. It's a nice little PowerPoint you put together with some fun
Yeah.
music.
In lieu of flowers, send us Amazon gift cards.
But
And
do
or
not-
Riot RP cards.
Yeah, please.
in lieu of flowers, please send Fortnite jam tracks.
Wow, that
In
works.
his honor.
It would honor his memory so well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of big games, actually,
Well,
Make new games.
yeah, big games. Okay.
yeah.
Now, this is maybe one of the biggest games I think we're about to talk about that we've ever had on the podcast. Class of 09.
The Elden Ring
Have you actually been playing Elden Ring DLC?
No, I haven't. I
Oh.
want to get it, but I've been a little busy. So
And it's
not.
nothing compared to Class of 09.
It's pretty good.
What
They're-
is that even?
Yeah.
It's, what is the genre of game? Like Life is Strange, like the talking one, like choose your own path kind of thing.
No, it's more
Is
visual
it not
novel.
like that? Visual novel, yes, that's what it's called. Basically, this game has been trending on TikTok for God knows how long. I always get like shorter clips of it popping up, but nothing quite could have prepared me for what the game actually is or how serious some of the topics do end up getting. But it's really funny and I don't know if it's just me, but is the voice acting not super fucking good
It's so
and
funny. I
believable?
love it.
The conversations feel so natural. It's focused on this one girl who I think is 17, maybe 17, 18. She's in junior or senior year of high school, and she moves to a new high school. Her mom moves all the time or whatever. And you basically, it's like a choose your own adventure visual novel kind of thing. And you see which of the, I think 15 endings you get. It's kind of crazy. Ryan, do you have more to say about it?
She's a sociopath, so all the options are pretty.
Sociopathic.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're pretty
so-
bad.
She is not a good person.
No.
But a
She's
lot of the
troubled,
dialogue.
Okay, she's troubled.
Yeah, she's very troubled for
Troubled
sure.
youth, right.
Yeah, a lot of the dialogue options are like, I mean, they're probably just all some of the funniest dialogue options I've seen in any game. I just like, I think about them, I quote them now. Like, yeah, I'm getting into humor and stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting into humor and stuff. One of my favorite quotes, they do like just the fade out, fade in transition kind of thing, and it fades into the lunchroom, and one of the characters is just talking, and you just join mid conversation. She goes, "Yeah, so Kelly's a fucking bitch, and I hope she fucking dies." End of discussion. Anyway, what were you saying? And it's so good. It's so good. Jekka's the best character.
True.
Jekka is the best character. I didn't really like my ending too much.
No.
I made some choices in character to date my gym teacher, and he murdered me at his home. So,
oh,
and then
Yeah.
I can see
it
why
was-
that wouldn't be a good ending.
It wasn't
Yeah.
the best. It
No.
wasn't the best. There's more.
There's multiple
There's some
endings.
more things that happened during that, but
But if you want to hear more about that ending, check out our Patreon.
push the Patreon.
Are you actually going to upload anything to Patreon?
We don't-
you
I
want
don't
to-
even think that there is one.
If
Oh,
we get a
there's-
Patreon, nothing will happen with it. That's the issue.
What do you mean?
We have no content to upload to
We
it.
have 14 subscribers.
Okay.
And we love all of it.
Soon to be 15.
True.
Yeah, if you're not subscribed, make sure you
Hey.
smash that subscribe button. Smash it. Like, comment,
My
and
ending.
subscribe.
My ending I got, which I thought was pretty fun.
Your
Well,
true
like,
ending.
well, no, at first, my first ending I got, I thought, oh, this fucking sucks. I end up having to drop out of high school, and my mom forces me to get a job at Burger King. I was like, oh, dang, this is a bad ending. We did not get a good ending. And then I saw the other endings, and I was like, I wish I
Oh,
could
yeah.
just be working at Burger King.
Yeah, yeah. My
Burger
ending
King
would have
sounds
loved
great.
working at Burger King.
Yeah. I'm like, just go make some fries, just chill.
Just have a good time, you know?
Just have a good time. It's a fun
Yeah.
game. I recommend it. It's like I'd say it's very dark humor, but
Yeah.
I think it's funny. I liken it to like South Park kind of
Yeah,
humor.
exactly.
Yeah, and I'm a fan of that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I like
slightly
it.
offensive, slightly, or I wouldn't say slight, but
Yeah.
more risque.
yeah,
But like you know that like it's
pushing the
not
boundaries.
you know that it knows it's not like serious, I guess.
yeah, it's very much like
I don't know. It's a pretty
Um,
serious game.
tackle. I don't know. It's. I think it's very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's how I would say it.
Tongue in cheek.
It's camp. It's camp.
It's camp.
Is it Camp Rock?
We rock. We
Mhm.
rock hard.
That's exactly what it is. I like it. It's I think $20 for like 2 games because there's 2 games.
Steam summer sales
Okay.
coming out, maybe even cheaper if you wait a few
True.
days.
Oh.
Yeah, by the time you're
Yeah, maybe I'll check
watching
it out.
this, the Steam Summer Sale will be
We
on.
can do a run with you, Sarah. You can make the choices because
Okay.
That could
Yeah.
be fun. Yeah.
After this, we have to do that.
Yeah.
And we'll
That'd be
upload
fun.
to the Patreon.
Yeah. If you want to see Sarah's first run on Class of 09, check out the Patreon page. Or become a
Yes.
YouTube subscriber.
We'll start Persona 3 one day, right?
I know.
Put that on the Patreon.
Speaking of Persona 3, that should lead us to our topic of this episode.
Actually,
Oh no,
No.
but
I was like, wait a
it was a
minute.
shot in the dark.
but kind of something I personally am a big fan of, and is very important to me. But something that I find that everyone here kind of knows a little bit about and likes is professional video games, esports, like competitive games in general. And a lot of that is going to come back to our favorite game, League of Legends.
I love League of Legends.
Ryan had a lot of fun with League of Legends, playing his competitive
Just
arena
earlier
games.
today.
Right.
Yeah, my competitive pick of choice is Warwick.
If you want to
Uh-huh.
see Ryan absolutely lose his mind, let us know.
We'll upload the arena game to the Patreon.
Ryan just has to like walk away from the camera.
Yeah, Ryan had a not great time,
Yeah,
but in terms of
I think
competitive,
Lee might be having a worse time.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about
Yeah, I
that.
don't know
Ryan
about that
sounded
either.
pretty
Bridge
mad.
champion sucks though too.
I hate Warwick.
She does, but
That's the secret of League of Legends. All the games suck.
But eventually, there's
True.
like you have to get over the Warwick shit rainbow to get the pot of gold, as they say.
Mm.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then you get
who's after
Volibear.
Warwick?
yeah. Volibear's good.
Volibear is good. That's true.
We got 7th.
Yeah. We also picked for Warwick, and Warwick for some reason got picked. What the fuck is that?
Wait, who
True.
did that?
Some loser who thinks he's good, I guess, huh?
I played against a Warwick in my game, but I beat
That's
him.
weird. Yeah, I mean, we
Do
beat
you
him
think
too.
Warwick is the secret overpowered pick for other people?
No,
I'm
no.
surprised that he's like not fun in that.
He just goes in, and that's about all. You can't really
Yeah.
get out. You're just
Yeah.
fighting until you die, and that's the same
Yeah.
with Briar too.
hmm
Yeah.
You kind of
So
just have
maybe
to
you
fight.
play them together.
That sounds like maybe the worst.
We could give it a 1. I'd be down to give it a 1, but
Yeah,
we-
give it a
we could
1.
We could
Maybe
try it.
maybe it's
Yeah.
what you needed.
both of us have the
Gonna be
same
the
thing going
salvation.
on, and we just fight to our deaths and see what happens.
I
Yeah.
mean, basically.
Yeah.
You
But,
face
it
one
seems-
Rammus.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
well that's
Rammus-
bad.
Rammus
That's
gets
already
every
bad.
game.
Yeah.
That is unfortunately my permaban, which I can't ban other stuff like Poppy or Teemo. There's a lot of champions that make Briar not fun, but out of all of them, especially the most is for sure Rammus, because I kill myself on him 100% of
In-game.
the time exclusively.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it.
And it's really sad. I don't like doing it.
I can't imagine why.
Now back to actual esports.
True.
My main question is to pose kind of to everybody in general, kind of your experience in terms of watching / playing competitive games, and like if / when you like got into that, and like what you did with that.
I can go first because it's
Yeah.
pretty brief.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton. Back in whatever season Scara was on Dignitas, I watched Dignitas in competitive League of Legends. That was pretty much the only team I necessarily have ever cared about in a competitive esports format.
Okay.
So those old Dignitas games, those are fun. They weren't very good, but
It
was
They
good
weren't
for a
very
bit.
good.
well, they didn't win a lot of things.
Well, that's because Dyrus leaked their strats at Worlds to other teams.
Yeah, because he was scared. He was
Yeah.
scared of what what this team could bring.
Of what might happen if they were allowed to play at full strength.
I'm a Cutie Pie is a rank 1 player these days. I'm just saying.
I'm a Cutie Pie has always been a rank 1 player in my
We
heart.
watched his stream the other day. Actually, it was pretty funny.
Really.
He's
Yeah, he
hilarious,
says
yeah.
what the deuce a lot.
He does
Like,
say
a
what the
lot,
deuce
a
a lot.
lot.
Unironically.
Yeah, I mean, it's him. It's obviously ironically, but like,
What the deuce?
it's
You
like
don't know that.
he's like
What?
they're doing Baron. What the
What
deuce?
the deuce?
What the
You don't
deuce?
like
Not the
Shit.
Family Guy. Not the fucking
Yeah.
Family Guy
What the
like
Peter?
reference.
Yeah.
What the Peter Griffin?
What the Lois?
What the Sigma?
Peter.
But I guess in terms, I've never played any. I think the highest I ever got in League was like platinum. So I didn't have big aspirations of being a professional, I should say.
That's fair. For me, I was watching since like LCS started, like season 3, late spring or some shit. And when I was in high school, it was just like all I did was I wanted to watch all the leagues, and back then I had all that time because I made time in school. When I could be learning, I would just have my tablet on and I would watch the games I missed because they were going on when I was asleep.
Of course.
I would do that. I would make spreadsheets. I would do fantasy LCS drafts when I was in class. It was like all I would do is like League of Legends esports stuff in school. Like they didn't teach me shit because I didn't want to learn it, I guess. But I
I'd say
learned
they
a
didn't
lot
teach us
about
shit.
League of
I like
Legends.
that you phrase it as they didn't teach you anything.
To be fair, though, I feel like I learned the important stuff. There was a lot of it that I don't think I needed, and I'm fine. So
Mostly get the fundamentals, and you should be mostly good.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And then
Mostly ghostly.
Mostly.
the playing experience was like it's like very minor, but the HSEL high school League of Legends tournament, me and Lee played together. That was a fun time until we imploded in playoffs. We stomped every fucking team there was.
Is that when you just
And
played a lot of a moo?
I started playing Graves. My Lee Sin game, I fucking carried that. I remember I stole every dragon and baron. It was crazy. And then I was relegated to Ivern for doing well, I guess. Ivern and
There's
Amumu.
nothing wrong with
No,
playing
actually, I did love playing
Ivern is
Ivern.
an S
Yeah.
tier champion.
I
and
went to
we don't-
Ivern after that, and then I was only Amumu because they didn't ban it for some reason. I don't know why. It was like
Yeah,
Apache was good.
Well, God, I remember you like the game that you got the interview playing Amumu, and he was like, "How do you hit those Amumu cues?"
And I'm like, I just throw it out
I
and
don't
I hit
know
it.
what
Yeah.
the like one game that like we got that was streamed where we won. It was like so funny. It was like
Mhm.
such a like meme.
Just like
Hey.
kind of a shit fest. Like what was
Yeah.
happening?
Oh, the announcers are like obviously just like
New.
volunteers, like not actual
Yeah.
announcers. So they're like just like saying shit. There's like
They're trying their best.
Yeah.
like it's like equivalent to like
that's
bronze
something
players just watching and like being like giving their
Mhm.
2 cents on the game.
I think, God, man, like, oh, it bugs me to this day that we didn't win that. By the way, like I think about it sometimes because we stopped so hard and we got complacent because we were so good and we just stopped practicing. As Zaire Khan came out, and we just like blinded them in playoffs. That wasn't the issue though. The jungle meta completely switched and they were playing like Sejuani and Zack after they got like mini reworks.
Yeah.
And I just like I was still playing a Mumu and get it.
Yeah, that
And
was,
I
it was
like first
unfortunate.
time to new Zack and we lost. We got 2-0'd.
It was very sad.
Yeah.
So sad.
Oh, I know there was a moment that people tend to blame on you with your Zaya pathing. I just want
Oh,
you
yeah.
to know that I'm on your side. I'm not, but I mean that's okay. There were more reasons besides that.
It was not great. It was not my greatest moment.
No, it's
I'll say.
okay. It wasn't the reason we fucking lost. We wouldn't have won that game anyways. So let's be real.
No, I don't think so. There were
Yeah.
some games that I felt like I was like, "Oh, like everyone's kind of like the game's not great, but I can probably just win us the game."
Yeah.
But once we actually played against like not a group of silver players, it was a little bit harder.
I want you to know before we switch to another like competitive game or anyone else's experience, I thought the most bullshit thing you've ever done to me was I wanted to play like other carry jugglers and we're in a draft game, a regular draft game. I'm playing Evelyn and we tower dive and I die one time and he says you can never play Evelyn in our games. Like he had banned me from playing Evelyn when it was one of my best jugglers.
Who said that? Lee said that?
Yeah,
He was correct.
Damn.
Did you tower dive and feed a kill after that?
I mean, yeah, we all died, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we all died there.
Yeah.
I think it was awful. We all died.
It was
like,
awful, but like my Evelyn was still good, man. That was just a bad moment.
you banned.
jungle diff.
No more Evelyn.
Jungle
I
diff.
don't. It unfortunately, as much as I want to defend myself, it was really bad for our team. In terms of like the fact that like Gly mostly played like squishy supports, and so like and Josh didn't really play like engage top laners really.
Yeah.
It was kind of like all on you to be like tank and engage. So having
He
none of
played
that,
Poppy. He was Poppy butt.
he did play Poppy, but Poppy's not really an engage champion.
Yeah,
It's a tank at least, but
that's true.
yeah,
We had a useless mid laner though, but we won't talk about that. I'm right. I'm right.
You
I'm
are.
completely right.
I apologize for banishing you, Ryan.
Yeah, it's okay. I've forgiven and not forgotten, but I've forgiven.
Yes, he did not
Yeah.
forget at all.
Now we can move on.
Yeah, now we can move on. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, with League specifically, I don't have a lot of experience with it. I watched my first Worlds probably with Lee when they were doing NA, and that was really fun. I used to go to Lee's tournaments when he would play competitively. Like when you play at like
a lot of
conventions and like
a
at
lot of
Mystic Lake.
local tournaments and stuff.
Captain Flowers used to cast you before he went big.
He did.
Now he's the voice guy in arena mode.
The guy.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's the voice that like talks in between rounds and stuff.
That's kind of neat.
He made it.
The pig
He
too.
made
Him and
it big.
Kangas.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
the big two, by the way. Oh God.
Something related to that we can talk about later in terms of ethicality in esports these days, but we can.
Oh,
yeah, we can finish this thing first.
For me, I don't play a lot of games super competitively. I'll play games that are able to be played competitively, but I usually don't watch a whole lot of esports. The ones I find myself watching most is if I just want like a quick little video I'll throw on like a Smash tournament or something and watch a few matches. I love watching
Buzz plays.
Yes, actually, DeBuzz is my favorite to watch.
He plays all your characters.
He plays Rosalina. He plays Olimar. I like anybody who plays. I don't know. I just look up my favorite characters.
Yeah.
I would watch Pokemon Unite tournaments as well, which is like League of Legends, except it's Pokemon and it's faster paced games. It's less like just watching people farm the entire time for the first like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
Where you're just waiting for a gank to kind of make anything happen.
Start the game.
Move fast, lane phase.
So it's faster paced, which is like easier from a viewership perspective. And it is more fun to just throw on like a Unite tournament now that they have draft mode actually in the game.
Yeah.
But the only issue is that even still, like the roster is relatively limited compared to League, where there's I think like 60 something.
That's not even fair though.
There's like 60 something characters still.
Has a few years on it.
Yeah.
A little bit of time.
Yeah.
And the fact that like
3 years in the league, they had still more characters than this.
But they did bi-weekly releases though.
True.
Aren't there some characters in Unite that are like banned from pro games? Like that are like
all the
like
legendary
Zacian
Pokemon. It's Zacian, Mewtwo. And
that's just so bad from a game design standpoint.
It is.
It's like you make it broken.
They also just it leaked. It didn't get announced. It leaked. Ho-Oh is the next tank coming to the game, and its ultimate. If any of your allies have died, I think within the last like 5 seconds, you ult and it revives them.
So it's old Mercy ult.
Yeah,
basically.
And so that's why it's going to be banned from competitive play.
Oh yeah, that's God. Like why even make?
I don't know.
Why even make champions like that? That's like making a league champion and giving it the spatula and just being like, that's just it's on your character the whole time.
I don't know, man. So that kids can play it and still win by playing something.
I want to play super cool Mewtwo.
Like, here's the thing. I would love to play Mewtwo, but I don't. Now I'm like, fuck. I don't want to play Mewtwo because they made him too strong.
Yeah,
and like I can't even play him in ranked anyway. I don't think so. Like, what's the point? But
yeah, why even? And then you make a champion like that, and then you ban it from like ranked too. Is like so.
So what's the point?
Why even make it so that so people can fuck around in a normal game? Like,
I don't know.
It just seems dumb. It's like making Baron playable.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just Baron.
I'm Baron. I sure. It is still kind of fun though. Like when they do a patch and like the meta shakes up a lot. I think recently a lot of Tyranitar has been getting picked, which is fun because I don't think he's usually good. So I like that. it's also good to see that game, which normally there's no way for people to kind of go and like roll queue, to see people play competitively and see like an actual meta game form around it instead of like 4 people running damage dealers,
Yeah,
which
and then
always
one
happens.
random like tank or support.
Yeah. So I like it. I think that's it.
In the same vein of Pokemon Unite, because it's Pokemon, I haven't played a lot of like competitive actual Pokemon, but I do like to check in occasionally on like the worlds and at least
Yeah,
look
it's
at
really interesting.
like recaps that like Wolfie does or Cybertron.
Yep.
He does it. And just kind of looking at like the breakdowns, and especially when they use kind of weird Pokemon, like bye Zack. The classic is like Pachirisu during Worlds and whatnot, but even just non like gimmicky Pokemon like that, like just people that aren't just using Incineroar or Landorus T or Zacian or whatever. And I think currently the format that they're using is you're allowed 1 restricted instead of 2. So the big strat lately has been using Ditto. Ditto is used so then you have your restricted Pokemon and you copy the opponents.
That's so
you get,
funny.
So Ditto, for I think really the first time, has been like a mainstay on some of these competitive teams. And I think that was kind of like the goal when they were doing like in Sword and Shield, like the Dexit, when like not all the Pokemon are in the decks, just to bring some variety to competitive.
Yeah.
Because they don't really balance around competitive play very much, but they can kind of change the meta by what gets added.
Yeah.
And then they just add all the legendaries.
Murkrow.
Yeah, and then I wanted to get into Sword and Shield, and they announced like I don't know how many months in, they're like, we're doing DLC, and then they show off legendaries.
Well,
I'm like, so Landorus is coming back anyway. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, all of
the
them.
Sword and Shield sucked anyway because Gigantamax was a terrible mechanic.
I didn't like it.
But it did let some weird Pokemon become meta, like Durant. That was the first time Durant was ever popular because Hustle means nothing because you can't miss Gigantamax moves.
Yeah, and we used to get the boost from
Oh.
them.
So yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't. I wanted to do draft leagues, but you need a lot of people for that, and it's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
But competitive Pokemon battles are always something that is pretty interesting, and at least I always liked breeding for competitive teams. I always found it fun.
Comment
But-
down below if you're interested in a Gamer Monday draft team.
Gamer
Draft
Monday Pokemon
Would you-
Showdown Tournament.
We do have a request from a
Wow.
viewer.
Oh,
That's true.
They want to know like our ideal Pokemon teams.
Ooh.
is this
like-
Viewer, thank you. Check out the
Is this
Patreon
Brittany?
for that answer.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, shout out Brittany.
Shout out Brittany.
Hey,
But
Brittany.
yes, so that would be kind of interesting. Talk about like our ideal.
Okay,
Pokemon
everyone,
teams.
for homework for next week,
Yeah, we have to come back next
bring
week.
your ideal Pokemon. And like, what is it? Just like your 6 favorites, or like a team?
If you were to make like a champion team, you know what I mean?
If
Yeah,
you had
yeah.
a champion team, okay.
I know
Are
3 of mine,
megas
but I'll have
or
to look at my
anything
list.
allowed or no? No
I know
megas or
4.
anything, I'm assuming.
You get one
No.
gimmick. Pick your gimmick. You get one.
Okay, I think that's fair.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Okay.
I like that.
That's homework assignment.
And everyone
cool,
can
okay.
kind of have their own like, oh, if somebody wants Gigantamax, don't pick Gigantamax. But if you
I
want that,
want my
then
giant Garbodor,
Pikachu.
and you
Giant
can't take him
Pikachu.
away
That's
from
right.
me.
Max Gamer.
Yeah, give me Obi's Pikachu back, and you can.
P.
Also competitive Pokemon's cool because like
Yep.
It's fun.
the difference between like single, like most of the game, which is like fought singles, and like the different stuff that you can do in doubles, like the different moves that are like only doubles moves, or like abilities that are like only doubles abilities, kind of like make really weird obscure Pokemon like meta, because I don't think like
Like
Pachirisu,
Smeargle.
like Spheal brought up, like you're not gonna find Pachirisu in like a singles like
No,
tournament like
it-
that, because it
it
doesn't have
do
attack.
anything.
It's not tanky on its own. Doesn't really like do a whole lot like utility wise compared to like in doubles, making it like bulky and like follow me and like nuzzle. Like it's super cool that you can add such unique Pokemon that have like such an interesting niche.
Also, the
to
variety of
doubles.
moves like kind of skyrockets. Like you're
Mhm.
never gonna use things like follow me or like
Like they don't even
Encore
work.
and stuff like
Yeah.
like after you or fake out is like a necessity on most teams. I don't know.
Fake
It's fun.
Out's still really good on doubles though.
Or singles.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
it's fine
Well,
for singles.
It's good. It's,
Yeah,
it's good in
that's what I'm
singles.
saying.
but
I'm saying
yeah,
moves
Oh.
that are better in doubles
Gotcha.
Yeah.
than singles. Like
Yeah, Fake
all the
Out for
support
singles
moves.
is only
it's
that
just
good if
you
you
get
want to
some
like activate
damage.
an item
Mhm.
or something.
Yeah. You get some
Yeah,
chip
I that's one of
and
the
stuff.
things. Doubles is really fun. Because really support Pokemon in general, unless it's like a wish support kind of Pokemon, they don't
Yeah.
work super well on singles just because there's not usually a big need for a relatively squishy Pokemon to do little damage.
Mhm.
But also in doubles, at least entry hazards are not super prioritized, which is cool.
True.
Yeah,
Entry hazards.
there's less Pokemon. There's not really
Mhm.
like it's not time to safely set up like
There's also
like Stealth Rocks is about
Yeah.
like the only thing that you can like
Mhm.
set up because like you're not putting up spikes, you're not putting up toxic
Which
spikes.
also gives you like because you could if you bring like a Glimora or something that passively sets up terrain,
Mhm.
or I mean some things do like
Yeah.
small live sets up terrain. Those kind of things that you can indirectly, those help a lot. And then also I think just the format in general, you bring 6 Pokemon, but you only take 4 to the battle.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of strategy. Because in a singles,
Mhm.
typically you just bring your whole team,
Yeah.
and your lead is an okay-ish important decision, but you can switch pretty quickly. Picking the 4 Pokemon against all the combinations that your opponent could bring adds a whole layer to the
Yeah.
skills of that, which competitive Pokemon just has a lot more depth than in-game Pokemon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's really cool. You can have like multiple different like win cons and multiple different like play styles in one team based on like the 4 that you bring. Like because you can bring like a Trick Room team, but also you can like usually there's like 2 Pokemon that are like Trick Room setters. Like, oh, instead I'm bringing like an After You or like a Weather team. If you like don't
Mhm.
bring those 2, you bring like 2 other Pokemon. It's like the variation in your strategy can like differ even in the 6 Pokemon that you are showing. You could bring multiple different strategies since it's like the 2 of 3 and like worlds and stuff is like pretty cool because you can kind of switch up even what strategy you're going to use like before the game without really even like changing your team. So that stuff's really cool.
I will say, if you're not into Pokemon VGC, but you're interested and want to know more, Wolfie VGC makes probably the best videos of any like esports competitor there is.
They're so well
Like they're
edited.
like he properly like builds up a compelling story as he just like explains the game to you and like tells you his thought process as like one of the best players in the world. And it's very
Yeah.
interesting.
And then Aaron Cybertron VGC on
Mhm.
YouTube, he does a ton of very in-depth like he'll bring up a team and do like breakdown of all the moves and the abilities and the sets and everything and why they work together. So he also does very good in-depth. I don't think he won Worlds. He got really close.
No,
and then
he's
got
gotten some high
hacked.
placements, but
He got hacked by
yeah.
a
An
Thunder
awful
streak.
clip. Awful
Mhm.
clip.
So yeah, if you're interested in any like Pokemon VGC stuff, definitely if you like Pokemon in general, like
Mhm.
and it interests you, then looking at the VGC and like the actual like competitive side of it is really cool and not super confusing.
No.
Like once you kind of watch a little bit of it, it kind of you can kind of pick up on it pretty quick.
Yeah, watching people and like if you just watch maybe the stream, you'll be a bit confused at first. But like if you watch like Cybertron or Wolfie, it's pretty easy.
Agreed.
Mhm.
And there's been a lot of different formats throughout the years. As you look back at previous worlds, sometimes there's no restricted Pokemon, and restricted Pokemon are typically like box art legendaries and things like that. And then mythicals are pretty much never
Mythicals
allowed
aren't like
ever,
never and they're like never
which
included.
they're usually not stronger than like the box legendaries, or sometimes some of those are just like super weak in general, but they're never allowed. But there's been when Ultra no when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out, the format was like 2 restricted Pokemon, and like everyone had a Primal Kyogre and Groudon and
Yep.
Zekrom and Reshiram, and it was
Awesome.
crazy. They were just Mega Rayquaza. There were just so many legends just like
Boring.
all over the field, and then
Yeah.
and then you have like some, and then you get the great people that bring like a Clefairy, and you're like, this is what I'm here for.
Hmm. Well, it's funny too because I know usually they don't allow mythicals because usually they're in a distribution system, so you can't you can't get a like competitive one. So there's no
Mhm.
point in like having it because then it kind of becomes like a luck thing. Like, did you get distributed one? Did you get distributed like a good one, or they're all like the same and they're like kind
I
of like
think by
shitty?
the end, like the natures are locked typically to a neutral nature,
Yeah,
and they only get 3 IVs that are above 15 or something. So
yeah.
they're
So it
just
becomes like
not.
a
It's so
luck thing.
lame.
Like,
It's so lame.
did my like mythical get like speed, attack, and like
Mhm.
HP or something? You know, did
I got
mine
to
get like
keep
the good
going to the
stats?
Toys R Us to make sure I get the right one.
You have to keep
Get the right
buying new
Jirachi.
games.
Uh,
So, but yeah, it's always interesting to see which, because even between restricted Pokemon, like when you only have like this set one choice, like they're all very strong Pokemon, but some are just like actively not being used whatsoever, which is very, very interesting. I mean, Zacian they just made extremely broken, so I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if he's in Scarlet, but like Miraidon is like an extremely strong Pokemon, but is not being used competitively just because of just what's in the format and what other things you can pick.
Yeah, as of now, I feel like it's the legendary, like the dogs. Like you have the paradox dogs. Are
Yeah,
like pretty
especially
good.
the Raikou,
Hmm.
whatever it's
Yeah, the
called. It just
Raikou.
hell yeah.
Miraidon, unless you do like Draco Meteor, you can't really break through it. But very fun stuff
Yeah,
in competitive Pokemon.
we love Pokemon.
Wow, this is probably the nicest we've been to Pokemon.
Yeah,
It
it
has
is.
been, honestly.
Because VGC, those people give a fuck, and it's like,
Mhm.
you know, that's the part that you don't really have any problems with, besides maybe some of the restrictions they put in place sometimes, or the decisions they make when they make their tournaments.
I
Yeah.
would say my biggest problem with competitive Pokemon, it's not even a problem with competitive, it's that by nature of the game, some Pokemon just have to be worse. And that makes a lot of Pokemon just not viable for at least top tier like
Yeah.
competitions. Like there's a bunch of like fan favorites, I'm sure, that never see the light of day, because that's one of the more boring things in some formats is that you'll get a top 10 and 8 of the teams will be the exact same, because
Yeah.
the format is so restrictive.
Gotta
I
go
think
watch a UU tournament.
yeah, you saw a
True.
lot of that. I think where like Alpha, Sapphire, Omega Ruby, you saw a ton of like the exact same teams in competitive. And I haven't checked in super recently, but I think there's been a decent amount of variance recently. So they've done a good job of making lots of
I
things.
think innovation has been a lot higher recently.
Well, I think terrestrialization in its
Yep.
a really good competitive gimmick, because it doesn't necessarily, besides Terrapica, make one Pokemon any stronger than anything else.
Mhm.
And everything Terra Blast as well means that you could pull out some really interesting Terra, because that's really and I think currently the format that they use is open format, so you can look at your opponent's items and natures and moves and everything. So really, but I don't think you may be able to look at what their Terra type is, but that's no guarantee. Like if something was holding a Mega Stone and you saw that, you know what their Mega, but anything at any time could Terra. So really,
Yeah.
it's like one part that like you can really pull off an unexpected play, even in a format where it's like an open book.
Yeah.
So I think Terra is just really good of a
I fear for the next gimmick, whatever it is. It's not being better than this.
super
Well,
babies. Everything
it's
devolves
gonna be
and becomes weaker.
back to megas again, at least for CA.
Prehistoric
But
forms. Their bones.
Megas, I like Megas as a concept, but it's not fairly distributed. So
Yeah.
not everything can make use of it. Like even Gigantamax, like there were certain Gigantamax forms that were a little bit different, but I wouldn't say necessarily. Actually, a lot of them were weaker than just Gigantamaxing or just Dynamaxing. But Megas, like, and there's also such a huge difference. Like no one uses Mawile anymore. Because why would you use Mawile? But Mega Mawile was one of the strongest
It was
Pokemon
so
to ever
cool.
exist.
Same with
So
Kangaskhan. Another
Kangaskhan, no one's
Pokemon
ever
that's like
used
basically
Kangaskhan.
like unusable without a mega.
Beedrill wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily good, but it made it
It's fun.
fun
Yeah.
to use. Like it
Super
turns,
fast.
and I think that's the best part of Megas is when it turned Pokemon you don't use into Pokemon you do, rather than it's like, hey, everyone, you know how you love using Garchomp?
Garchomp, yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Here's more Garchomp.
Oh,
You could just make it to where, like, even if you can't Mega Evolve, like, you Mega, even if it doesn't have a new form or a new type or anything, and just give it like a small stat boost across the board for any Pokemon, even if they don't have like a unique form for it. Kind of like how Dynamax and Gigantamax worked.
Yeah.
And
that
then
would
make
be
it to where you don't need a Mega Stone to use it. And then it sounds.
So you've invented Dynamaxing.
Well, do it for Megas though, but without all the stupid moves, and like then it like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way that they don't make it broken or like unfair or unfairly balanced, but like it's hard to do that when you already did it for Metagross and Garchomp.
That's like the only way
They're
to
bringing it
balance
back.
it is you just have to give it to everyone.
I know.
Every
So I'm
Pokemon
like,
gets a Mega, and they couldn't even figure out Flygon. So
Oh, Flygon.
they gave 4 pseudos out of at the time 7 a Mega Evolution.
Hmm.
Pokemon with a base stat total of 600.
they only gave
said-
one Pokemon in the region it came out with a Mega.
and it's a
it was-
mythical.
It's a
Mhm.
mystical.
They only gave 1 to Gen 5, and that was
Autono, baby.
my girl.
Like,
Hey.
why? Who? I just want to be at that round table where they're like, okay, out of all the Unova Pokemon, Hydreigon, Chandelure, the starters, they were like, you know who needs it? You know who needs that buff?
Who's at
The
that
Chansey of
round
the
table?
region.
You want to know who's at that
Uh,
round table?
Everyone used this bunny round thing to beat to death for experience, and now she gets her
Now
revenge.
she's back for revenge.
You know who loves Audino, and actually Audino
Ryan
is their favorite
does.
Pokemon? Jack's Court.
Oh,
Mhm.
Ryan
it's fake.
likes-
It's fake. Like he's doing it because no, I don't believe
Like,
you.
his favorite type is normal types, and he
That's
loves
why he
Audino.
likes you.
He
his
loves
fa-
Audino.
oh,
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
It was right there. Shut
Ryan's
up, Ben.
Ryan's made a mortal enemy.
Mm-hmm.
wow!
I'll come back
that's
next week to
It's about
watch
to be a
Zack and
fight
Ryan
IRL.
fight.
They're gonna, boxing match
He
next
knows where I
Monday.
live.
I do know.
Literally.
You don't know where I live.
Well, actually, I
You
mean I
can't
do, but
Anywhere.
That's crazy. But
You-
whose favorite type is normal?
Jack's Court. Don't shame him.
No, but that's.
You're already beefing with him, so
I mean, and he's just giving me more reason to.
Mhm.
What's his favorite? Wait, okay, so Audino is his all-time favorite Pokemon.
maybe not his all-time favorite, but she's up there.
Okay.
okay.
Like if he picked like a good normal type like Lechonk
Ambipom.
or
Not
Andy
Lechonk.
Not Lechonk.
He like-
Lechonk,
Not the piggy.
he's a little
No.
guy. He's a little guy.
That was a cool normal type. Zangoose.
Bidoof. Oh,
For
Not
Ridgerat.
Zangoose.
For
Zangoose.
Ridgerat.
I
is
love
cool.
Farigiraf.
Slack King.
Yeah.
Hisui and Zoroark.
True.
Yeah,
Fake
there you go.
normal type.
normal type.
It's not a
Yeah.
fake normal type. The normal
It's,
type
it's
is
normal type for. I agree. It is normal type, but it's a little.
now if you want a cool favorite Pokemon like Hoot Hoot
Yeah.
Like who?
or Tranquil, the best of the best.
Or perhaps even Gumshoes.
Gumshoes. True. True. Smoliv. He's a small
alright.
olive.
Watchdog. Watchhog.
Watch
No. Oh, but
Oh,
normal
wow.
type objectively has some of the worst Pokemon. Like, yeah, Patrat and Watchog, but
and
also,
some of the best.
Youngoose and Gumshoes, trash.
But then also some of the best because you got
Like a
Snorlax.
Greedent.
You got
Greedent,
Greedent. I hate Greedent, but Squobit.
one of the best Pokemon names in all of Pokemon, Mousehold.
yeah. And
I make this mouse home into a mouse
names in
hole.
all of Pokemon. Mousehold, Flapple. That's it. Those are the
Okay.
top 2. Those are top
Okay.
2 right there. Mousehold and Flapple.
The
I don't even-
Dunsparce is bad.
It is bad.
Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
Rigoraph though,
Now, Fruit Drive is good. Overall, the normal type though is
Mid.
yeah. I would say probably bottom 3 types.
I have another question I would like to pose.
Yes.
'Cause I thought this one might be a little bit
Zack?
more inclusive. And that would be if you would like to make a game that is not competitive into a competitive game. What game would you choose? What's a game that you would like to make competitive, or like play in a competitive way that like isn't necessarily already like a competitive game?
you know what? Actually, I think I saw someone else like somewhere on the internet like years ago when it came out. But if they took the engine or like the mechanics from Breath of the Wild or even Tears of the Kingdom and made a battle royale out of it, and you could just like build vehicles and weapons and shit and craft them, that'd be kind of fun. I think that'd be kind of fun. Especially
That
with
is-
the mechanics of like lighting shit on fire, you can ride the updraft or whatever. You can drop bombs and stuff if your like weapons break.
It's like another version. It's like a high graphics version of Minecraft.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, you don't craft like in Minecraft. You know what I mean? Have you played? You played Breath of the Wild, right?
Yes, yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I know you can like
Yeah.
in like Tears of the Kingdom. There's like the actual like car building like the planes and stuff where you put the engines on them. But just in terms of
Yeah.
like the breaking weapons and like building like platforms
Yeah.
to then like fight people, drop your little bombs and stuff.
Yeah. I think it'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Cool.
And then instead of like ammunition, your weapons break. So
Yeah,
grab a few good ones, you know?
get a few bow and arrows. Get some
True.
elemental arrows.
The shock arrows just to fucking win immediately.
Oh, maybe the shock arrows are an S tier, maybe broken.
Anybody else?
I got one. I'm cooking up something insane here. Okay. Listen. So we all love Toontown, right?
I was also ironically thinking Toontown.
I'm not. I'm thinking. Look, you get your team together. Let's say like we're all on team TSM, team TSM, right?
Right, Team Tism.
There's 4
Can
of
it be
us.
Dignitas?
Yeah, we're on team Dignitas,
I don't want
and we're going into a Toontown boss fight. Now we get our loadout for our gag tracks. We're playing on corporate clash because it's the superior version. We can change our gag tracks. Okay, and we're having like these. It's like basically a race kind of esport where we're trying to defeat the boss faster. I think of it as like a Spheal World of Warcraft Mythic Plus
Of course.
in a way, where they change the different like power ups and shit every week, or
Mhm.
maybe they change like bosses around or like change the dungeons. And I think with Toontown, there's a lot of strategy there, and I think it'd be very fun.
Okay.
You don't seem very sold on my idea.
I like it.
World Clash. No. Like, but is it like, are you competing against?
Of course, we're
Enemy
competing in
teams?
the World Championship.
But
Like-
is it like you're
Kinda like Speed.
facing in another
Another
like in
team, yeah.
PvP? Is it PvP?
No, it's PVE.
So you're just racing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into that.
Okay.
Kind of like almost like if you were to do like when
exactly
in
like
World of
Mythic Plus.
Warcraft, yeah, where you're
Yeah.
trying to like race to be the like first to
World
beat.
first.
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
kind of like world first, but like just in like a competitive like team.
I get what you mean. There's something a lot more similar to that though called Mythic Plus, where it's just like it's an actual esport where there's just like timing your dungeon runs and shit.
Oh, that is an
Yeah.
actual thing.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, because that'd be fun to like do, but like in a vacuum and just like pit teams like against each other and
Mhm.
like do it based on time. Because that'd be fun to watch.
Turn-based combat though in this race. Oh man. The RNG with some of the cog moves, I'm sure would fucking kill it.
Just don't take drop.
True.
Or do for fun.
Any percent drop like troll the enemy team by beating them with drop.
Sound
Beating
meta.
them with the sound meta would be so boring. Drop is so fun. Because once you land that 30% OCO, you're in.
No, we just do squirt zap meta. That's all it is.
Okay.
Right, it's like I'm
Yeah.
coming up with the meta. I'm coming up with the
I am. I already
best way
know
to
the meta.
play.
Let's switch it up though. Anybody else have something?
Competitive Mario Party.
I knew somebody was gonna say it. I knew it.
Soon.
Soon.
I'm
It's a big
Maybe
retiring
we
from
start that.
competitive Mario Party.
Like the new one they announced.
You can have 20 people play.
Wait, didn't the direct happen after the last time we recorded?
Yeah, you
Yes,
predicted
you
everything and
predicted it.
shit.
Yes. Yeah, we did your prediction.
Yeah, right. So they announced a new Mario Party.
Yes, there's 20. There's 20.
Yeah, and
Up
you
to
can
20 players. It can
like a
play in like
battle
a.
royale race thing.
There's
yeah.
not enough people. I got to be the referee.
Ryan, do you want to play with us, please?
I got to
Yeah,
be the
right.
referee though,
There's
man.
so
Like,
many people that can play,
No.
Ryan.
why'd they do that to me?
You love winning.
You literally
It was literally the
episode
day
before
after
you said
no, there's not enough spots for me to play. We have 6 people.
Fuck you,
they heard
Nintendo.
you. Nintendo heard you.
And they're like,
Yeah.
we gotta throw something together real quick.
They said Ryan has to play.
He does.
They hate me. They hate me.
Yeah, well.
True.
How would competitive Mario Party work?
Mm,
I mean, the same way regular Mario Party would work, but just
It's already
amped
one of
up,
the most competitive games I know.
yeah, I was gonna say
amped
people
up
get
with
louder.
going to a bringing a bunch of people to a convention and
People
playing
get
like
angrier.
like a bracket system or like a bracket system in terms of like winners then play against winners, and you have the the Mario Party Grand Champion, and you do it for money. How to make anything competitive? Bring people
Yeah,
to a
exactly.
convention center and do it for money.
True.
True.
They'd be like, oh, this mini game is really good. And they hold the controller upside down, they
Everyone's
And they-
strats
and
for
they-
like how to
they
freaking
whack the wiggler down in like 2 seconds flat with their big ass
Yeah.
hammer. You know the one where you just mash A?
Yep.
That's how they do it. Spheal, do you have
Work.
one?
Kind of. So one of my things is any game that has like a PvP, I avoid it like a plague because I hate PvP. But I thought of a way that in Hades 2. So it'd be like more of like a 2-person competitive though. But in Hades 2, there's a character called Nemesis who will apparently who will occasionally show up in rooms, and then after you interact with her, she'll take one of the doors, locking you out of it. So in like a 2-player mode, what could be kind of fun is that you both start, and then whoever finishes there, like you're in the same room, but whoever finishes their enemies first chooses the door, locks the person out of the next one. But all the doors in a normal run connect to each other, so you're just racing with throughout the run just to see who does it faster. And then whoever gets there first gets a choice.
Yeah. And you can screw people out of like if you think that like one of the gods or like one of the like things would be good for their build, then you can kind of like lock them out of it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be it's like the Amazing Race. Yeah, and then in some rooms, there's 3 choices, so you don't always choose 100% what the other person gets. But I think it'd be a fun like 1v1 quick run. I think it could be pretty fun.
That's kind of
True. I think you can do a lot of games like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like most games that are not competitive that like you could make competitive tend to be like speed running, because you could really like anything you can make like a speed run, but then doing it like competitively in like a one-on-one setting where you're like actively like playing against somebody else rather than just like playing against like the leaderboard. Seems like it could be fun.
There's a thriving Sonic Riders competitive community out there.
Ryan loves that.
I loved it. Yeah, I watched like their tournaments and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Racing games are always really like interesting to watch. Racing games, and I
like
love
watching fighting games too.
Pro Smash.
Like at conventions. I like watching people play like Street Fighter and Tekken and like Mortal Kombat. They get really intense about it.
Once Sparking Zero comes out, I'm gonna play the shit out of that game, and I'm gonna try to play it competitively. I'm gonna try really hard to play that game, and like hopefully, I know the conventions that we go to usually like feature like some sort of like gaming like tournament, and usually like it like premieres fighting games because it's like the easiest to do. So catch me.
Gamer Monday goes to 2D Con.
Gamer Monday plays a tournament.
When?
That's in August.
Gamer Monday on the
road. One of the
like
Baldur's
the end of
Gate
August.
voice actors is
yeah,
gonna be
Karlak
there.
is going to be there.
Karlak is in. Oh, I love
Maybe
her.
Gamer
so-
Monday
so maybe
goes.
Gamer Monday goes to
Con.
con.
We could make August happen.
We can make
Yeah.
that happen, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Come on, Spheal.
I
Let's-
we could do.
I
we could do a
actually
vlog.
could.
That's
I
pretty sick,
could-
isn't it?
That
The
is probably
Gamer
the
Monday
only
vlog.
time I could make it happen. Actually, is
Let's
August.
try it. Let's try
Yep.
it. We'll
You
do
So
make
it.
it
many
the fastest
competitive
challenge.
games that we could watch
It's-
IRL.
Oh,
It's
I have
the
a
end.
second answer. Planet Zoo. I want to.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. I'm surprised you didn't.
I want
At
to
first.
rank my zoo against other. Oh, animal fact of the day: cows have best friends
Wow.
and accents. Yeah, different cows from different areas will move slightly differently.
I wonder which accents they make fun of.
Probably the
Ryan.
friend.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Benner cow. Oh.
True. True.
Okay, and on that note,
No. Listen. Okay.
But I would like to rank. Like, I want my zoo to compete against other people's zoo in terms
Yeah.
of guest experience, animal health, and
Yeah.
donations.
There we go.
And if they lose, it burns to the ground.
No.
and you get to
Hard,
do it personally.
hard. Yeah, I get to go
You
into
get to
their
light
zoo.
it on fire.
My little avatar gets to go to their zoo,
Yep.
look their orangutans in the eye, and burn down
Oh
their
my
zoo
god.
Why
Right.
would you do that?
because I want to win.
Okay.
You
Oh,
win.
real
You win,
competitive.
Spiel.
You already
is-
won.
Fair.
Me with my
enough.
triple hurricanes burning down their zoo.
We don't need to do this again.
Don't get me.
But we won.
Yeah,
Oh, we won.
we won. Hey, there's one more. There's one more topic before we go in, right? So there's the Esports World Cup that's coming up here. And it's a bunch of different esports, but the kicker of this one is the catch is that it's funded by Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia's money and all that stuff, since like
Mhm.
they're getting into esports now. So it's a
Yes.
lot of like ethical problems with, should our teams compete in this? Should I compete in this? Should we take the money to host this event, to shoutcast in this event?
Mhm. It's
So
it's really
like, yeah,
really tough to like decide whether or not. And the thing is too, it's tough because this is being filmed in June. It's
Yep.
Pride Month. They are a lot of them are like openly anti like LGBT. So and these game studios that are like hosting these tournaments are like post on social media like Happy Pride, we're LGBT allies, but then are taking money from Saudi Arabia to like fund these tournaments.
yeah.
So it's kind of murky.
Like today, Kangas announced that he was going to. That's somebody who used to like cast for Lee or whatever. He
Yeah,
announced
he's
that he was going to be
local
hosting it or
Minnesota.
something, or just casting it.
Lee, I remember him.
Yeah, but people, it's very mixed. There's people who are like, yeah, you go and get that bag, and there's others who are like, how can you sleep at night? Like those are like
Yeah.
actual like
Of course, always.
responses to it. It's like
Mhm.
it's very controversial right now. One of the teams said, we're going to be going to the tournament, but we're going to leave it up to our players whether or not they want to compete, which is kind of just throwing them under the bus because
It
the
is.
organization wants the money, doesn't want to make the decision for themselves, and are kind of throwing
Yeah.
that on the players to look like the good or the bad guys.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like they're trying to absolve like their brand of like any wrongdoing, which is like so scummy because it really is like up to you. Like you are the one contracting these players. Like you can say you're gonna go, but
Mhm.
that still makes you shitty. You shouldn't be like, well, it's up to the players to have morals and like make a moral conscious decision.
True.
Overall, it's I'd say probably not poggers.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Ranked negatively on the Pog scale.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't believe
1 out of 5
Kangas is doing it. I can't believe the person who used to cast our local Minnesota League tournaments is going to be casting for pro players and in a cup, and that's not great.
Saudi Arabia. Well,
On that
That's-
note,
There you
Yeah.
have it.
There you have it.
Happy Gamer Monday, pilgrims.
happy Gamer Monday, pilgrims.
you make sure to follow us on Twitter at Gamer Monday Pod. Subscribe, like the video. Subscribe to our Patreon. This feels setting up after this.
Smash that like button.
Well, hey, more times you mention the Patreon,
The more people are
becomes.
hoping and praying
I
and
want to play
wishing for
Fortnite
posts.
after this.
Well,
What
we
do you
will
think
see
they're
you
paying
next.
for?
What?
Bye, guys.
We'll see you
Is it
next
over?
Monday. Happy Gamer Monday, pilgrims.
Happy Gamer Monday.
Is it